Hey everyone, hey and welcome back to yet another episode of Battle Rap Resume. This is your host Tom Quee. Thank you so much for joining me. Before we get to today's guest, please subscribe to us. If you're listening on YouTube, please subscribe. Please check out the channel. If you're listening on iTunes or Stitcher or any sort of podcast medium, please do the same and do the same as well. Please check out the archive of episodes there. If you're listening on iTunes, please go onto iTunes and leave us a review. That would be greatly appreciated. The reviews contribute a lot to the algorithm to help build exposure of the show, and it also gives me a great ego boost as well. Please email us if you want to get in contact with the show, battlerapresume@gmail.com. Any suggestions, any feedback is greatly appreciated. Also on the Twitter @battlerapresume. That's the best place if you want to find out about new episodes that are coming out. You want to know about news of the show. You want to see about old stuff as well. Please also go onto our Redbubble shop. Please pick up a Battle Rap Resume t-shirt or a sticker. You know, I got an email recently from a good friend of the show. He bought a sticker himself, and it's crazy to see those out in the wild. And finally, go onto our Patreon channel. Go onto patreon.com/Battle Rap Resume, where you can help donate to the show. You can help keep the show going. If you want access to exclusive episodes, to archival material, to just give back really. If you enjoy the show, I greatly appreciate it. The kind of the bottom line we ask for is £1 a month, and that gives you access to all the archival material, no matter how late you are subscribing. So definitely check that out, patreon.com/Battle Rap Resume. But let's get to today's guest. This guest today is someone that I'm really excited to have on. Someone that I've admired for ages. I'm a huge fan of the freestyle element of battle rap. I love seeing writers go into the back of their mind and just pull out something at the last second, and it's alchemy, somehow it hits. And one of the best purveyors of that is DOTZ. DOTZ, how's it going, man?
Yeah, what's going on, man? I'm all good, man. How are you?
Yeah, I'm really well, man. I'm really well, and it's great to have you. It's great to have you on here. And I mean, like,
Thanks,
how far does it go back? Like, do you remember like freestyling when you were really young? Was that what you were always into, or?
Yeah, with the freestyling, always at school and stuff like that, I was always freestyling and stuff. But I'd say probably from about 12 onwards, maybe a bit. Yeah, about that age. And
like, was that just like ciphers, like literally in the playground, or?
Yeah, just messing around. There was like a couple of other people. We used to like try and record little crappy tunes and stuff like that.
Right. and like, was it Dom then? When did DOTZ happen as a name?
DOTZ happened in college. Well, no, DOTZ happened, after college, basically. I didn't really have like a rap name as such in them days. Like, that was back when I just used to write stuff. But no, in college it just came about randomly, and it just stuck.
But where from though? I mean, I've always wondered that. It's a good name, just DOTZ. It's just, it works. But does it have a meaning, or?
Oh no! This is literally a name that was given to me.
Right.
Like, it went from people used to call me a mixture of like DOTZ, anything with a D basically, because it was Dom, and then it just came from that.
Mm-hmm. And I mean, obviously you've got, alongside the battling, extensive music back catalogue, loads of great releases out there, all the way up to, yourself and Philly and DOTZ. And prior to that, like, what is the time gap between being known as DOTZ and Jump Off? Like, were you just making a lot of music in that period, or?
Yeah, I mean, when I was doing Jump Off, I was making a lot of music, and I've continued to make a lot of music since, alongside the battling. But no, music was always before the battling. Probably the whole time I was at college, obviously I was making music. So from like 16 onwards, I was recording tracks, and I had a little home set up and just used to record like shit songs at home and stuff like that.
Right. Do you still have any of those?
Yeah, probably somewhere. There's an old computer that's got some hard drives in it. Yeah, maybe could end my career.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I've got like an old laptop on my bed, like at my parents' house, where it's not like music, but it's just like whatever pictures and shit, and it's just like this time bomb that's just waiting there. It's just like, a nice scrapbook to go back to. So you obviously, before we get to Don't Flop, but some people might not be aware, it does get mentioned quite a bit later on in battles and stuff. Obviously you were part of Jump Off, and you got to the 2012 final against Tenchu, which is crazy. Like, were you aware of sort of prior Jump Off stuff? Had you watched the WRCs, or?
I hadn't really watched the WRCs. I knew about the jump off a lot. I used to watch all the old Pro Green battles, like when he battled Life and the Stig battles and all the old classic ones on jump off and stuff like that. And I used to watch a lot of like the Westwood Crib sessions and all that, just kind of the stuff that was about at the time, basically. But yeah, I kind of came up watching that kind of stuff, and I suppose that's probably majorly what influenced it. Like battle wise, and
getting involved in it. I mean, that impulse in you, like, was it something that you just thought you could do better than most of the people you were watching, or?
Do you know what? The first time I ever battled, someone else actually put my name down for it. The jump off used to do tours, and they came to Bedford, and my mate Ravi of Limelight TV, the guy that I've done a lot of my music videos with, he put my name down because obviously of my freestyling and stuff. And yeah, I think I won like 2 battles that night, and they brought one dude down that I beat, and then there was like a local guy that I beat, and then they invited me to London 2 days later, and then after that I think I beat one dude. I think it was called Lively, yeah, your first upload. Yeah. And then I think Sean O'Mac was after that. And then because I was champ, I had to keep going back every 2 weeks. And then out of nowhere, I was battling Tenchu. And then that was probably like my fucking 5th or 6th battle. I don't know. It went quick, man, because it was every 2 weeks.
Yeah, that is mad, that rapidity. Because, yeah, you faced Sean O'Mac in your second. Then you went against Dave Freeways.
Okay.
Awesome name. And then Chalk. And then Tenchu. I mean, Tenchu's a beast, right? Like, difficult opponent.
Yeah, he had a really good year as well. He had a classic funny battle with Pedro, where there was like water getting chucked about, and back in them days it was different.
Yeah. And I mean, that was the 2012 final. Like, I mean, a lot of pressure as well. The jump off, in terms of the environment, is a little different to Don't Flop, wasn't it? You had sort of the crowd all around, a lot rowdier crowd as well.
Yeah, they're like jump off. They're looking to boo people. It's like the Coliseum, obviously, like placement of people or whatever. You're in the middle.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, they're just looking to jump on you as soon as you fuck up or anything that they can.
And I mean, Tenchu takes the 2012 win, as it were. I mean, a crazy contested final there. Were you aware at this point, because it wasn't long, the Tenchu battle was uploaded in October 2012. The Tenchu battle was uploaded in August 2012, and then you went on to battle Ricky C, of all people, in October.
You battling me is like a paraplegic trying to battle it with Kimbo, so fuck it, I'll give you a rib blow, kick low, snap your shin bone, spit dope, rip flows, leave you with a slip throat and split your wig, bro. Is this some kind of sick joke? Last battle I had was for $5,000 against a prolifically sick bloke, and now they want me to battle the little Jimmy Smith clone. Yo.
Were you aware of Don't Flop like way before this, or?
A little bit, but not really. It kind of came about quite quickly. Obviously, I'd been watching battles and stuff, but it wasn't something that I was following massively. I was just focusing on music. But yeah, it all kind of came out of nowhere from the jump off stuff, and with it being so frequent and meeting people quickly and stuff like that, it just kind of snowballed.
And I mean, moving forward to getting onto Don't Flop then against Ricky C, did you just reach out, or?
I think I reached out to her, and I think Pamphlet and Innuendo both like co-signed it, because I was chilling with both of them at the jump off. I battled Innuendo, actually, I think.
Oh, right.
In the first season.
Oh, right. Cool. I don't think that's online, or at least that's not on Verse Tracker, which, I mean, I know that it doesn't mean it. Actually, I'm just going through here. No, but you battled loads, actually, on Jump Off, didn't you? Even after Tenchu, you battled Katrina, LNC, who battled Kruger, Gizmo.
The whole of 2013, I won every single battle and then won the finals as well. So there's I don't know, probably like 20 battles or something.
Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy, man. And so we'll get on to Ricky C, which is, I mean, obviously at this point he didn't have the notoriety that he would later gain with Crisis Music and onward. I mean, I love the starts of these Don't Flop videos, or battle videos in general, Dots, where it just dates it. It just gives it a certain era. So in this time, the events that they're building up to is not only Birmingham, but 4th birthday. So it's just, you know, we're going back here. This is the boom bap warm up party where I believe Shuffle T tried out against RS.
Yeah. Me and Shuffle T tried out at the same event.
Oh man, what a crop! And it is the first battle, you know, of 6 that day. Pressure coming onto Don't Flop, or was it almost less so because obviously Jump Off His Head had that more kind of, you know, combative environment?
It was probably easier than it is for most people doing a tryout because of all the jump off stuff. But because it was a different crowd, a different type of crowd, I was like a little bit dubious about how the battle would go. And obviously I didn't know anything about Ricky C at the time. He had no music online. He had no videos. Like he had nothing to go by. So it weren't the easiest battle to write for because there's not really anything to write about.
Yeah.
If you don't know him.
No, of course, yeah. I mean, yeah, you were both tryouts at this point. Obviously, there's a bit more to go on for yourself, you know, quite a bit more. There's a lot of videos and music I mentioned as well was there. And we get into your first. You kick off by talking about magnanimous animal rap. and this is that kind of style. I gotta say, Dots, I am a huge fan of this sort of style that you do, the kind of, you know, quite aggressive, kind of forward. I mean, the irony there is for a boom bap kind of pre-party sort of thing, it has that aggressive, plosive nature. Like, is that always how you've wanted to rap? I mean, who were your inspirations coming up?
I'd say, like growing up, I was massively into the underground American scene. Like when I was young, like fucking Ill Bill, Necro, Vinnie Paz, Jedi Mind Tricks, like that whole scene. Like it was kind of the main sort of hip hop that I listened to. Like, but I used to like. I'm so OCD with music. Like the Seattle music scene is like, there's so many artists from there as well. Like, but yeah, that aggressive style was just the kind of stuff that I like listening to, and the kind of stuff that I enjoy making. But I enjoyed like keeping it varied these days, trying to do a bit of everything.
But I mean, like that sort of style works so well for battle rap, doesn't it?
Oh yeah, definitely, man, definitely. Yeah, it's basically battle bars, but on a track, and
yeah, no, it is definitely just kind of punchline, kind of attacking sort of mode here. You talk about seeing a video of him freestyling about bacon sandwiches.
Oh yeah, I think there was one video of him, and he was trying to do a freestyle in it, and he said something about a bacon sandwich. That's literally all I had to go by.
Yeah, I tried to find it actually. I couldn't track it down, so I don't know if Ricky C has taken that off. But I would have liked to have seen that. And I mean, like some of the comments on this battle rightly say that if you were to judge Ricky C on this battle, like this is probably his best showing. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, I was literally going to say it's probably his best battle as well. Like he really didn't like if he'd have come more prepared. Like the stuff that he came with was actually decent. Yeah, for a tryout. Like.
Yeah, it was all right, yeah, and then, you know, it's sort of...
then he tried to do the whole freestyle thing and it didn't really work.
Yeah, it didn't... because he had a kind of jump off lineage as well before you, and then, I mean, the irony is that the next battle was him and Crisis Music team against Dialect and Zen, which was and then he battled Jay Cruz apparently. I haven't actually seen that one. Yeah, I'll have to watch that one. So yeah, I'll have to go back and see that. But yeah, I mean, yeah, not bad stuff here. I mean, he says some questionable stuff like it ain't in my nature to grab your girl and rape her. But depending,
he went a bit deep with the names and shit.
Yeah, I mean, like, how do you feel about that? It's not the best, is it, to name someone else's who isn't there to defend himself.
The Ricky C thing actually caused a situation. He kind of prolonged it for ages and like brought it up again in like a text message or something like that, or a Facebook message, and then travelled all the way down from Leeds to the jump off, and it was like a massive hoo-ha. But
oh shit,
yeah,
okay,
it did piss me off because I don't know, there was a lot of shit that he could have spoken about. And I think that bringing people into it like that is just a little bit too much for like a tryout battle.
Yeah. I mean, I won't use the name, but he does say, ain't in my nature to grab your girl and rape her, but depending on what you said, I may see you later. And then obviously names her, which is just, kind of slightly out of it. And then he says... in a kind of poignant thing, I suppose. You know, there's more to rap than finding synonyms for the word slag. And I don't know if you remember, he kind of fucks up his freestyle at the end, like he tries to free and
yeah,
and and you flip that straight away and basically say how funny it was that he fucked up there. I mean, freestyling dots, obviously it's something that's very sharp weapon in your arsenal. Like, you know, do you pride yourself in that? Is that something you kind of want to do almost every round, or?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it is nice to be like classed as one of those like people that think about people think about, when you think about freestyling, if that makes sense in any way.
No, definitely. Yeah.
I don't know. It's a difficult one. Like, obviously, I pride myself on it, but for me, it's something that I've always done. So it's not that strange to me. If that makes sense. So it's just something that I've always kind of done as a hobby, and obviously when it came to the battling, I knew that I needed to step my game up and freestyle more and practice more. But we do a lot of freestyling with our live show as well, and that keeps it active all the time. And
I mean, is it, I've never really freestyled or anything like that, but I'm just sort of curious, is it like a muscle then? Is it something you have to really keep doing to do well at it?
No, I don't think so, but I think you can always improve at everything.
True. And the second round is vintage dots, really. There's some fantastic stuff. And the crowd are lapping it up as well, I should say. Like, you get a really good reception from here. You do the flip, as I say. You basically say, I'll fucking kill you if you murmur or talk. Raping fat bitches till the cervix is sore. And then just kind of, what I love about this kind of multi-freestyle sort of idea is it takes the mind into weird places and odd images that you just wouldn't normally go to. Yeah. So, you talk about, look at you, fam. You have to live in a caravan with your massive nan, who is twice the size of Pakistan, and she forces you to plait her flange, which is just fantastic. And huge reaction. People are really, really vibing with it. And Ricky C, he doesn't do bad as well. I don't want to kind of slag him off too much here, but you clearly take the win. And was it a feeling of triumph? It must have been quite a good feeling to have won your tryout on Don't Flop.
It was obviously a decent feeling. I had obviously I had Philly back in it. I had Pamphlet was there as well, and there was a lot of active Don't Flop members who had already kind of co-signed it or whatever. So I knew that I needed to not fuck it up, basically.
So you and Pamphlet were pretty cool then.
Yeah, he actually came to Bedford, and I hooked him up with some recording when he was back. He was making music. I'm not sure if he still is, but
yeah, I remember. I think it was called Judge a CD.
It was Taylor Adams was the name he used to put under.
I mean, I've had Pamphlet on the show before. I'm a giant fan. How fucking dope is Pamphlet, man? He's out of this world.
He's the coolest guy, man. I brought him to Bedford to do his the recording for, I think it was an EP he did, or maybe it was that one that you said about. But I did a verse on one of the tracks as well. We made a tune about smoking weed.
Classic.
Yeah. No, I actually I performed at his, I think it was a birthday event or something that he put an event on in St Albans. It was the battle the legendary battle that people talk about between Shuffle T and Marlowe and Pamphlet and Tony D.
Yes, when is that coming out?
But basically, me and Philly are the only people that have the footage, and there's certain people don't want it released.
What do you mean? Who could possibly not want it released?
That's all I can say.
Jesus, man. Yeah, who was it? I think it was, I had Shuffle on the show actually, and he was speaking about that battle, and he was saying this multi that Pamphlet did about Don't Flop being a ship that was sailing the seas, and Shuffle and Marlowe are unwanted cargo or something like that. It was dope, man. I just hope that one day that surfaces these old things that just one day it'll come out. But yeah, that is, if I've said before, if Don't Flop want to raise money, just do an Indiegogo and be like, if we raise $2,000, Pamphlet and fucking Tony versus Shuffle and Marlowe comes out. But yeah, and this starts, a stream of battles, really. This was uploaded in October 2012. 2013 and 14 were very much your sort of don't flop years, when you were very, very active within it. Second battle versus Impact, which I was just saying earlier, really, really good battle from you as well.
But let's talk about your tracks. Offbeat, poorly recorded vocals, distorted, sounding whack. Boring amounts of crap, pour from your mouth in packs of 16. Dick fiend, you're the lord of 1,000 twats. I think you need to study the art of syncopation. Voice and beat integration. Try using a metronome when you speak your statements or anything to stop your fucking songs from sounding so weak and basic. Cause I'll give it to you, bruv. When you actually manage to rap in time with a beat, you're a hot barrer. But you're not smarter, dots harder. Bruv, you look more like a crop farmer from Botswana.
Was it different because, the Impact battle to a certain extent was more of a kind of, written format than a jump off? Was that kind of hard for you to adjust to, or?
No, I wouldn't say it was hard to adjust to, like, because of writing music and stuff like that.
Yeah.
With the tryout, obviously got like the gist of everything. But I'd say with the Impact battle, like, he was having a good time at that time, so I knew that it was going to be a good battle, basically.
Yeah, and he killed it. Both of you killed it. Like, it was a great showing from both of you. And then just another battle we're going to gloss over. But I mean, the DK one's a classic, right? Like, what a joy that is to watch.
Yeah, that's probably one of my favourite battles I've ever done, to be fair.
Yeah. Absolutely brilliant. Like, she's also incredible. I mean, brilliant freestyler.
Yeah. I think that battle shows both of our ability, like, out of all the battles we've done. If you were to show somebody your freestyle ability, like, that's your go-to battle sort of thing.
Yeah, it was so good as well. Like, obviously freestyle's always been a part of Don't Flop. It was founded through and Kruger, so it's always going to have that element to it. But it was great to see in 2012 people like yourself and DK coming through who really, could do it to a real high entertaining standard.
Thanks, man. It was a good time back then. There was actually quite a few people that were freestyling as well, and Soweto Kinch, and there was quite a lot of people in the scene that were freestyling.
Yeah. I mean, I'm going to get to Soweto now with the freestyle gauntlet. Like, I've had Soweto on the show, and whenever I bring Soweto up, I just gush over the guy. I think he's just incredible. Like, not only is he a brilliant freestyler, he's an incredibly knowledgeable guy in all walks of life. He's a fucking Mercury nominated, Mobo winning, saxophonist, academic, he's crazy. He's crazy.
He's a G, man.
I'll stop blowing smoke of his arse, man. But he's a humble guy, man, as well. But fellow Brummie as well. So I don't know why that matters, but it does. But this is the freestyle gauntlet. When came to you with this idea, I mean, were you intrigued? It's quite an original concept.
Yeah, kind of. I just knew that it was going to be freestyle. I wasn't 100% what was going to happen. There's a funny story behind that battle. Like, I don't rate it as one of my greatest moments, but there's a reason why. And because originally we were going to do that battle last because it was the only battle out of that whole event that was in the other room with a live band. Yeah. So we smoked 2 massive spliffs before we went in. I won't say who with, but there was a couple of other people with us. Sure. But then all of a sudden they decided they wanted to do that battle first, and it was just like, oh, really, bro? So yeah. Oh, that's the only thing I'll say about that battle. Is it definitely could have been better on my part if I wasn't absolutely mashed.
Right. Well, I think it's testament to your skill that it's not too noticeable, to be honest with you. I think you still kick it pretty hard. This is Jambar. This is April Fool's. I'm not sure. Was this the first April Fool's event?
No, I don't think so.
No, maybe. Yeah, I think you're right. Maybe there was one before. Yeah, I really like. I don't know if you recall how this actually shot. It's shot in quite a unique way in the sense that it's shot forward facing. So we have introducing the battlers, and then behind is yourself and Soweto just kind of pacing, just kind of getting ready for the battle. And you don't normally see that. You normally see and the crowd behind him, sort of thing. But it's sort of shot the opposite way. And the reason is because there's a live band, as you say. There's a bass player and a drummer. Over the line is apparently what they called, and they sort of they set up a simple groove. They're pretty competent. It's not too fancy, but I guess you need just a beat, don't you? You don't need anything too explosive or exploratory.
Reaching in the bag again, pulling out a fucking glove. It's like an oven glove. Yeah, that's right, yo. We'll come and beat your mother up, cause I am a gutter cunt, couldn't give a fuck, bruv. Reach back in the bag, I'm gonna beat your mother, she's a dirty slag. Trust me, she owes me like 30 grand, cause she's always on tick for the herb she has. I'm like...
And then we get, you know, something that Don't Flop, but I'm not going to say they pioneered it, but definitely kind of established it in the modern mainstream battling vein. The grab bag, the random item sort of thing. I mean, that must be so fun as a freestyler to engage with.
Yeah, definitely. It's always I'd say it's always one of the most fun like freestyle games. If you like, when it comes to the different ways that you can incorporate freestyle into a battle. I like the random word one as well, or like, the random picture one.
Yes,
with the projector.
Yes, yeah. We'll get.
That's always fun as well.
We'll get to the Chronicle battle, where that was a success and a failure in a certain sense. But you know, just good stuff here. I mean, obviously, you know, freestyle's interesting, isn't it? Because battling's so much about bars now and sophisticated wordplay and all that sort of stuff. But in freestyling, the rules kind of go out the window, and the crowd will vibe with. I'm not going to say they vibe with anything. You know, it still has to be good, but it just has to work to get a reaction.
It's definitely more of a live, in the moment sort of battle. It doesn't really have the same playback value, but I'd say like with all freestyle battles, they definitely work better live.
Yeah, definitely. And you know, lots of good stuff here. You pull out a toilet paper and say he's talking shit. You pull out a Mickey Worthless CD and say that it's worthless, which kind of dates it to a certain extent. You pick something else out and you don't even know what it is, and you just move on. And I tried to pause the video and see what it was. I can't quite work out what it was.
I think it was some sort of like, it was a card. I don't know whether, I think it might have been an Oyster card or something, but
okay.
I didn't realise what it was or something like that. But I don't know, because I remember Rowan shouting in my ear, "It's a fucking Oyster card, man," or whatever it was. But yeah, that was funny.
Yeah, and Soweto, you know, goes in really well. He calls your mom a pusty Rastafarian, and he has like a comb and stuff like that. The bag reminds him of reaching into your girl's cervix. There's, you know, just good stuff here. You said that he's dressed as a burglar, and I don't know if you remember, he like pops his hood up and starts like proper like bopping, like, you know.
Yeah.
Pretty funny stuff. And then another kind of variation on the freestyle, I suppose, is the sort of 4-bar back-to-back that he goes into, like, you know, that is...
Yeah, that was probably one of the first ones that we really did back when, because when we used to do the 4-bar back-to-back quite often, but that was, I think, probably one of the first time. Well, I think that might have been the first time that I'd ever done that format at Don't Flop.
And I mean, like, it's one of those ones where if the momentum builds, which in this case it really does, I think it's probably the best part of the battle when it gets to the 4-part back-to-back, because you really like hype off each other. It's proper exciting, isn't it?
I think for me, for two freestylers to be able to freestyle together, if they're both of a certain level, it definitely brings a level of excitement, because you know that you can start building a vibe with that person, and obviously the crowd start getting a bit more involved with stuff, and
Yes, Soweto says, for instance, that he's going to happy slap you, and you just like fire back, fuck happy slap, or hang from your granny's fanny flaps like a fucking acrobat, and just, you know, I mean, it sort of sounds silly to a certain extent, say it out loud, but it really hits, you and really good.
I don't really remember any of.
No, of course. I mean, it's just in the moment, isn't it? But and then there's another quite nice moment towards the end where you basically say, football's for Batty Man, and Soweto's like, oh, he did a homophobic bar, how original, and all that sort of stuff, like, and he plays it in the way that only he can. But you seem like you were busy. You seem like you were battling a lot on Don't Flop, on Jump Off sort of thing. Was this something you really wanted to get your teeth into at this point?
It kind of just was happening. There was a lot of events going on. I was very active at the time, and kind of when Rowan started messaging me more about doing battles and stuff, it was always kind of like, right, yeah, definitely I would do that. Like, you never know, like every battle is more exposure, more views and stuff like that. So I really did, I did sink my teeth into it for a good like year and a half maybe. But maybe 2 years or so. I mean, I was battling. I don't know how many years I was battling for altogether, but there was probably a good year where I was really, really fucking focused on it. But
yeah,
I was trying to balance it with music, so it was a bit more difficult.
Yeah, no, of course. Yeah, I mean, if we're going from first upload to last upload, so your first upload being Lively, which uploaded June 2012, and then the Tony was from the April Fools again, actually, was uploaded on August 2015. So it's about 3 years, which is crazy run, and you've got 29 uploads in that span. So that is a hell of a lot of battles there. And just before we get onto the main battle proper, very cool to see that you and DK battled again, because it was just so good.
Yeah, we did a rematch with a projector instead of a grab bag. She definitely won that one as well.
Yeah, no, I mean, that one has 53,000. The original has over 100K now. I think, people realise that you two together, battle really well. And a battle that I haven't seen, Dots, I mean, I don't know what light you can shed on this one. I didn't realise you battled Archaic.
Do you know? Yeah, I did. I did. It was an on-beat one, wasn't it? Yeah. That was another freestyle on-beat one. I completely forgot about that myself. That was like a last-minute thing.
Sure.
Quite a lot of the freestyle battles that I've done have been like a last-minute thing. Like the Tony D battle was literally 2 minutes before it happened.
Right.
I was like, "Do you guys want to battle? Like, we need to." Fill a battle in. So we were like, yeah, fuck it. We were both lean and we thought, yeah, whatever. So we just did it.
No, fair enough, man. I mean, Archaic, obviously a great freestyler in his own right. Like, who are the sort of freestylers in battle rap that you really kind of, admire?
Obviously Tenchu. You've always got to mention Tenchu. Like, the dude can just rhyme anything.
Yeah.
And just keep it going forever. But I mean, you've got people like Tongue Twister, DK, obviously myself.
Yeah, of course.
Pamphlet as well. And there's so many people that do freestyle like a little bit, like they'll incorporate flips and things like that. But yeah, I'd say like mainly those guys. I'm probably forgetting a few people, but
no. But yeah, no, that's a fair gamut, man. And next battle that I want to get into proper. This was uploaded on the Demo Battles channel. It's actually your only upload on the Demo Battles channel. And the thing about Demo Battles is, I think battles should go to Demo Battles if they're just boring. And this is quite an interesting battle. Like it's definitely very, very watchable. This is you versus the controversial figure in Don't Flop history, especially since I don't know if you heard that he tried to take down Don't Flop.
Yeah, it was something to do with the website, right?
Yeah, he had some sort of claim initially, copyright claim or something, and he tried to. This is Chronicle we're talking about. Who, I mean, I realise a few people listening that might irk them, but I really want to get Chronicle on the show. Like I think he'll have a fascinating history in the words of weapon stuff, and I don't agree with what he did. I think it was a dick move, definitely. But I mean, Chronicle was there from the beginning, pretty much. Had a definite influence in the northern scene, especially coming up to it. Do you remember when this was and when you and Chronicle battled?
All I remember, it was in Manchester. Actually, no, it would have been around. I think it would have been March 20th, 21st, or something like that, because it was around a specific date. I remember that. But
yeah, because I mean, this battle, it doesn't, as with a lot of demo battles, doesn't open with saying, yo, we're this place and blah blah blah, big up. It just opens with you and Chronicle in what we learn at the end of the battle is quite a big room. The camera pans around, there's quite a lot of people there, although you wouldn't really know because there's not that much reaction to a lot of the bars, and it's yourself and Chron doing pretty much a freestyle kind of thing, with similar to the DK thing we mentioned earlier, with the the PowerPoint behind with the various images and stuff. Chronicle kicks it off by saying that he met you in Cardiff and fought you with a cloakroom attendant. Was this true?
Nah, because unless that happened after the Jigster battle, I don't know. I battled Jigster as well, which is on Don't Flop Extra, because it was his tryout, and this was back when they were putting all the tryouts on Extra. I don't know if they still are, but me and him were supposed to battle 2 years before that at Welsh League, and but he pulled out last minute, so we ended up battling like 2 years later. But Yeah, he could be talking about that event maybe, but he definitely never said anything like that.
And I mean,
just said safe.
yeah, it's just a bar. And Impact says in his battle, just to go back to the Impact battle, your second Don't Flop battle, that you had a battle in Cardiff. I don't know if it was the same time, and the person no-showed.
Yeah, that was the Jigster battle.
Oh, right. And that what he originally no-showed.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Okay, that is.
Yeah.
And in Chronicle's first kind of it's like a freestyle round. It's not really based on the images behind him so far. We get a few dots, name flips. We'll get onto natural because you sort of mentioned that in natural as well. Are you tired? Because obviously a name like dots is so easy to flip, isn't it?
I hear so many of the same ones, but like there's so many. Like Philly and Dots ones as well. Obviously the album was called Fill in the Dots. Like there's so many different puns that you can do. Yeah, it does get a bit tiring, but I think I say there's one battle I say something like enough of the fucking name flips.
Yeah, you do. You say that in the natural battle.
Was it natural?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, I can't. I'll have to just check my notes quickly. But yeah, you basically just say along the lines of like 3 rounds of fucking Dots name flips. Like it's getting a bit boring, isn't it? Like which I think. Yeah. You say only so many name flips you can do before it gets boring. That's how you kick off your third. Chronicle has a Dots name flip that was kind of original. Spray dots over the walls like a game of Laser Quest.
Yeah.
I mean...
Yeah, to be fair, that is a very original one compared to most of the others.
Yeah, that's why I'm like, look, bro, why are you acting shook, cuz? Freestyling is harder than it looks, bro. Yeah, that's right, yo, you know that I can speak deep. You're fatter than Rikishi, there's no way you could beat me. Yeah, that's right, yo, I'm dropping his head. I'ma leave this motherfucker so rotten and red, popping and dead. Yeah, that's right, yo, I got that hard flow, squishing Chronicle's head just like it's a tomato. Yeah, that's right, yo, I'm rapping it deep, taking the apple from the tree like it's Adam and Eve.
And you say to Chronicle that his girlfriend looks like Sprungy, and Sprungy can be heard saying "fuck you," like as you say it. Which is...
I'm pretty sure that was the event that Elro battled Euphorical, because there was a cipher afterwards, and it was like me, Elro,
right.
And there was Raptor. I think it was Young Infusion. I think Sprungy might have spat one verse, and there was another dude as well. I can't remember his name.
Yeah. I think you're right, actually. Yeah, because that was in the Odd Bar, I think, in Manchester.
Yeah.
Yeah, they battled. That was Raptor's try, and I remember there was a cipher, and I remember Raptor had this bar that I remember thinking was quite original, where it's like, I'm an underdog, that's why they call me the dog's bollocks. Which I thought, okay, that's cool.
Yeah. That cipher was. I remember filming that after the event, and we went for a Chinese afterwards.
Nice.
There was loads of us.
And this occasionally happens. It happened with you with the Oyster card dots, and it happens to Chronicle twice in this battle, where they get to the section where images are put on the screen, and he doesn't know what they are. But embarrassingly, Chronicle doesn't know what the Statue of Liberty is. I was like surprised. I was like, that's a pretty famous monument.
It was one of those battles that was just doomed from the start. After that, I knew it was just going to be one of them dead back and forths.
Yeah, I remember Charron versus Soweto Kinch, where Charron says to Soweto Kinch, like, this battle isn't good because you're not giving me anything. And I guess that is kind of a thing in freestyle, isn't it? Like you were saying earlier, with Soweto, you need to both be on your A game for it to actually be a battle.
You have to feed off the other person.
Mm-hmm. And there's another thing as well where Chronicle doesn't know what the Fantastic Four are. It's just like, what? It's like,
it wasn't his finest hour.
No, I mean, maybe this is why it's on the demos battles. You do sort of put your hand around him and say, freestyling's harder than it looks, bruv. Which is nice. And some great shit from you as well. We get the sort of Garden Eden image, and you're like taking the apple from the tree like Adam and Eve, and just hard stuff like that. Do you remember Russell Brand coming on the screen and you just start to laugh?
Nah.
He just comes on and you just burst out laughing, and like everyone just laughs. It's pretty funny, actually. And I mean, Chronicle brings it back towards a little bit the end. You say that he's dropping gay. You just have the shittest battle of the day. It's like, and then it just kind of, it sort of fades out there. I appreciate this is a battle that most people haven't seen, but it is kind of entertaining in its own kind of little way, even though it's maybe not going to be up there with the best. What is up there with the best though, Dots, or one of the best in my opinion? Your battle with Natural, great battle, that one.
Cheers, man. Yeah, I'd say that's one of my favourite battles I've done as well. It's probably my favourite format as well.
What, the 24? Yeah,
on beat, written 20. Like I think it was 24s with the Natural battle.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, you sort of, that's how it's introduced by and Natural. Natural does something very kind actually in his first verse. He says what the beat is, so he's like, so you don't have to clog up the comments. And I'm
I thought that was safe of him.
Yeah, that was quite good actually. A lot of Dots wordplay here, as we've said before. Just Dots, no lines to be scared of. Ain't blind, so I'm not feeling Dots.
That's a very common one.
Yeah.
I've heard.
Yeah.
I wouldn't feel Dots if I was reading in Braille and all that shit.
I don't know how common this one was. Putting lines over Dots, my signature move.
Ricky C said about putting dots over eyes or something like that.
Okay.
So let me break it down for you. Pay attention. When he did his EP, I gave him all of his connections. Straight dick rider, trying to saddle man's erections. And saying shit was handed to me's nothing you could mention. Man, I gave you every link that you had. Don't you get a bit of shine and now you think that you're back? Well, listen, bitch, I ain't playing with a written attack. When I sharpen 24 daggers, I can stick in your back. You can't even freestyle and sound shit on the track. I guess the fact of the matter is I'm sick of it rap, that real rap shit. To which you will pay an interest, and this cunt here's about as natural as incest. Copycat.
I love how you call I love how you call Natural a wigger in the mist. And you say that you basically gave Natural every sort of connection that he's had. Is that right?
No. Basically, me and Natural are good friends, and at the time I was just hooking him up with some like mastering people and like people to help him get his project out. I was just using it against him in the battle, really, to wind him up more than anything. But me and Natural are super tight.
No, it's good, man. And this battle, I remember this being announced actually, and this was a really, really exciting one, just because both people know you could kill it. And in first battle on the Beat Fighter event, you were going to a show after, is that right? You said that in the battle?
Yeah. I think I had a show right after the battles in another city. Crazy,
man. So you were straight off after?
Yeah, we pretty much play like every weekend and have done for about 3 years, so it's hectic. Man. Or sometimes we'll do like have a weekend off and then do 2 in one weekend, like I just did Nottingham and Reading last weekend. But
that's mad work ethic.
It's a lot of fucking driving, man.
Yeah, I bet. I remember I saw you live actually on the Copyright tour when you guys came to Oxford,
right.
which is where I live, and I think you were freestyling off things people were wearing. It was really good, man. I think you were going into the crowd and doing that sort of thing. It was excellent.
Cheers, man. Yeah. I always incorporate freestyling into the live show, and it just connects you with the audience a little bit more, and I think it brings more of a vibe to it as well.
Yeah, definitely, man, definitely. And this was, as I say, the inaugural event of the Beat Fighter event. I remember actually when Don't Flop originally announced this event, and it was going to be called Beats of Rage. And then I think someone commented, "Why isn't this called Beat Fighter?" And they like changed it straight away because obviously that's a way better name.
But somebody put in the comments about it. Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, that was a nice little moment of fan synergy and another. Like, I mean, all of these battles are fucking crazy. You know, it's mad that you've been up against all these people. We're going to get some huge names, but getting invited by Tim Westwood to do a crib clash, like, how did this happen?
Okay, it's actually three things two other things that caused that. So basically, I did the 2013 BET Cypher. It was me, Stormzy, Young and Pagey Cakey, and a girl called Shazar, I think her name was. She's Labyrinth's sister, and Westwood was the DJ. And he was feeling my verse, and he came up to me, gave me his number, and was like, "Yeah, let's book in a crib session." And then I sorted the crib session out, went and did the crib session, and then when I was there, I was talking about battling, and I was saying to him like, "Oh, we should do something like a bit more old school where it's just like short on beat battles." And he was like, "Yeah, I'm up for it, man." He was like, "You set it all up and we'll set a date and we'll film it." And yeah, that's what we did.
I'd like, it's awesome to watch these videos because the whole Don't Flop family's there pretty much, you know what I mean? Everyone's there.
It was loads of people came. Fucking, I think Kruger was there, and I actually got Bagnall on filming it as well, because they needed an extra cameraman that night. So Bagnall filmed some of it. And like Gemini was there, C Major was there, obviously, because he was battling. It was a really good vibe, man. It was a really, really good night.
Just like, surreal almost, just to be in Westwood's crib, just battling. Like, what a mad moment. Especially thinking as well that it was like sort of, I'd kind of put it all together and everything. It was just a bit like, fucking hell, like, it's a bit random. Kind of came out of nowhere, just off the back of the crib session, which came off the back of the BET thing, but which funnily enough came off the back of something. It was just like a list of things that like kind of like a domino effect. It was dope. I was actually chatting to Hassan, who is Westwood's PA, like they do everything together. I was chatting to him recently actually about maybe getting some new shit done with them as well. But excellent. Obviously you battled Lefty, which is a crazy good battle, but like so many good crib clashes here. I was just watching a lot of them before we went on, and Natural versus C Major, that's a fucking dope clash.
Yeah, man. I was trying to put people together that I thought like would put on a really, really good display of rapping. Like that's what I really wanted the whole thing to really be focused more. Not so much, not that I have anything against the spoken word side of battle rap. It was just purely that I wanted it to be on beat, so it had to be rappers. But I just wanted it to be very rap like heavy. And I knew that they would like both bring that shit, like flows, bars, punchlines, everything. Like,
and I love the environment that you're in as well. It's just walls of vinyl, like as far as I can see. Yeah,
they have. There's another room as well, and it has like basically the same setup, but it's a waiting room. There's so many vinyl there, man.
Jesus Christ, man. Yeah, no, that's fucking mad. Like, and a great battle as well. Like, really, really good stuff from you. Like, quite a clear win, I feel. I think Lefty was good, but I think you just kind of outstyled him.
Yeah, I definitely think that was one of my best. One of my best displays of writing, just purely because I actually had time to prepare for that battle, whereas 99% of the other battles I've done last minute.
Yeah, no, fair enough. But I mean, it's a sort of freestyle aesthetic, isn't it? Sort of just pulling out your arse, so to speak, and just
cross your fingers.
Yeah, and talking of pulling out your arse, we get to Pedro, Office Christmas Party. Like, what a classic this is, you versus Pedro. Just such a fun watch.
Trust me, fuck this idiot. If I ever see Ped alone, I'll fucking tell him to get on his bike and pedal home, or I'll chuck him into Camden Lock and leave him floating like a pedalo. Yo, trust me. Yeah, that's right, I'm ripping it off. Everything I spit is coming. When I spit off the top, this guy keeps holding his hand down here because he pissed on his top.
Yeah, no, that was a fun battle. I knew it was going to be fun as soon as we organised it. I knew straight away because Pedro was on a really good run at the time as well. So yeah, no, that was a fun battle.
Yeah,
and a funny battle.
Yeah, really funny battle. And you're right, actually, it was coming off the sort of P Soldier clash, and after this, although it's kind of like it's shown in the intro as a pay-per-view, is his O'Shea battle, the Umbro sign kind of thing. That was going mad. Like, Pedro's a freestyler, Dots. He's kind of a different gravy, isn't he?
Yeah, we're very different freestylers, definitely. Definitely, but I still do really, really rate and respect Pedro's freestyle ability. But like you say, we're just different.
yeah, crazy. He does just sort of goes anywhere with his head. You know what I mean? He just kind of go off the rails for.
Oh yeah, it's super ping pong, isn't it?
yeah, it's mad. It's just kind of like, it's just there's no real logic to it, but it still kills it. Get hit in the air like a bird in the runway. I am the guy in your sister's sex tape. It's very much how he starts. And you turn to in your intro by saying no more free events. We need some quality control.
Yeah, because there had been a load of tryout battles at that event, and so many people flopped. I thought I'd say something.
You asked Pedro if his trainer's a trespass, which is a nice little reference there. And again, with this kind of, getting back to the, platter flange, your mum's got a cervix itch, looked like she just had sex with a Persian pig. This ain't word association, for fuck's sake, Pedro. Slow down, learn how to rap metaphors and pronouns, which is just just great stuff here. Pedro has some killer lines, the whole celebrity son line.
Yeah, that was a really. I think that originated as a flip, didn't it? Or,
yes, it did. Yeah. So you said I'm a celebrity son.
Yeah, I don't know why I said that. I said something of that nature that was completely random.
Yeah, and then he kicked it into, you're partly famous like a celebrity's son, which is,
I remember what I was saying. I think I said something like, because I've been doing all the tours and stuff, I was like, something to do with making myself, what was it? Turning into a celebrity son, and then I was calling him son instead of saying celebrity's son, and then he turned it into celebrity's son. Yeah, I remember now.
And then pace really picks up when you get into the back-to-back towards the last third of the battle. He talks about Coca-Cola. You say that he looks like he's been drinking Ebola cola. And just kind of that Pedro-ness nature where you don't understand quite what he's saying, but it works. I'll leave you down on your deathbed. Under the mistletoe, you'll get the death kiss in the left leg. You say
it's almost like he's like finishes with half a bar sometimes.
Yeah. You say you're going to reveal his dick. I don't know if you remember that.
But I meant it. I meant it in the sense of like show the crowd how small his dick was. But Rowan, being Rowan, decided to go ooh, and obviously the whole crowd being the fucking Don't Flop fans, everyone followed Rowan. Ooh. And you can see in the video I'm just standing there with my hands up like fuck's sake.
Yeah, it's a really funny moment, man. You can see everyone. Fiddlers obviously is conducive to that sort of mayhem. And then Pedro has another like heavy line, heart of stone like a garden gnome.
Yeah, but I think he's used that before. He has used it before.
Okay, interesting. Okay.
This is the only thing. I'm pretty sure he used it against Senju, but if I'm wrong, then I completely take that back.
Yeah, no, but yeah, maybe. Who knows? And just before we get to these final battles, I just want to move back a little bit. You battled DNA at 6th birthday, was that?
Yeah.
I was actually there. I remember this battle. This was on the Sunday, towards the end of the day. DNA obviously oversaturated as hell, whatever right now. Still a legend, I'm still a big fan. And freestyle especially. What would you make of DNA?
Yeah, he's really good, man. I don't really watch battles or like stay in touch with the battle scene much. Like I never really did, but I know a lot of his music and I've seen him freestyling over beats and stuff like that, and he is really fucking good. Definitely.
Yeah, he was on fucking Sway in the Morning recently. I don't know if you saw that.
I think he did a 5 Fingers.
Yeah, he did.
Oh, yeah.
Would you love to have a go at that?
Oh yeah, man. Yeah, that'd be fun.
That'd be dope. Man.
Definitely.
That is such an awesome challenge they set down there. But yeah, no,
they're all different tempos as well, I think.
Yeah, it's all different genres as well. It's really kind of throwing you out your comfort zone. It's not like, say, grime where it's all the same tempo or whatever. It's like it's really kind of, different genres and stuff like that. And then, this was a time when everyone sort of, just huge fans of yours. Everyone knew that you were a great deal for the freestyle. You battled Jay Short as well, which is a really, really good battle. And then you go on to battle Charron at Checkpoint.
BT aborted you, now DOTZ is here to torture you. But first I'd like to talk to you, tell you how it really is, tell you what the deal is. So stop acting hardcore, tell us how you really live. You think anyone here believes your bravado? Acting like a hard bloke, pretending you're Movado. Nah bro, I see you with organic Corona, shook between a bunch of black cats and looking like a barcode. Arsehole, think you can spit hot? Well I think not. I love Corey's crew dying like he's the singer of Slipknot. Shit, what, I shouldn't say that cause this guy's so big. I guess that's why he runs away from high school kids, you little bitch.
Fair to say that you were quite annoyed in this battle, Dots?
Oh man, there's a really big story behind this.
Yeah, please.
Basically there'd been like loads of drama. I'd been really ill. I'd only had like 4 days prep because I'd been on tour in Czech Republic. I was really ill, fucking tired. Like I was pissed off because Charron was arguing about how much he was going to write the whole time, and we agreed to write 2 16s each, but he only came with one. And then they were like an hour and something late, and then something else happened, like another altercation. I'm not going to mention who it was or what happened, but something happened that made leave, which is why Tony's hosting the first few battles from that event.
Right.
And left for like a good hour or so. So it was like, and we were the fucking first battle. So it was just a weird vibe. It just, yeah, and I was high as fuck and just not in a good mood, and I was pissed off because I felt like he was using the fact that he could freestyle. Like, obviously we could have both freestyled, but I didn't want to waste the material that I'd spent the last 4 days non-stop going over. So I tried to keep it how it was, but yeah, that was why I got so pissed off, because he just flipped everything instead of spitting writtens, basically.
Yeah. I mean, it's still a really good watch, and I think you both brought it, pretty hard, to be honest. You have this whole sort of scheme, if I remember, going through sort of Canadian provinces, sort of, which is really, really nice from him as well. And the sound of the battle's really good. I think it's balanced quite nicely.
Yeah, it was at Ministry as well, and we had proper like cordless mics and stuff, I think, for that battle. So yeah, they would have just, I think they would have run it straight through a mixing desk, so they would have got like raw audio and been able to fuck with it. But yeah, no, it was a really good battle. I wish it could have been under different circumstances, and I wish that like what happened before the battle hadn't have happened, because I wouldn't have been in the mood that I was in. And I've apologized to him as well, like said, like basically just saying I was a dickhead in that battle and I was acting like a dick that day. But yeah, it was one of those things where it's like I look back on it and think, oh man, fuck's sake, that could have been a really good battle. But there was just an unfortunate sequence of events.
No, fair enough, man. And I mean, you battled Tony pretty soon after, and then I mean, there's been no battles. Is there ever going to be any more battles, or?
No, I originally said that I was going to stop before the Charron battle, and then battled Charron, and then I still was going to stop anyway. But then everyone online and everything started saying that I was stopping because of the Charron battle, which was completely untrue, because I've been saying for a long time that I like basically got too busy with music, and but then I battled Tony after that anyway. But yeah, for me, that was it. I was kind of, I didn't really have anyone left that I wanted to battle. I was really busy with the music. I was ill at the time as well, like really ill. I was in rehab. Like it was just a really shitty year, like 2016, when it comes to, I mean, I still put quite a lot of music out and did a lot of shows and stuff, but yeah, battle wise, it's just out of the question for me now. I'm just focusing on music. If the right battle comes along in the future, then obviously there's always the potential that it could happen. But
well, I mean, like, if what if just said training days, you and Mr. Tongue Twister freestyle?
Oh no, you don't have no idea how many I've turned down, man.
Right. I see.
Like I remember, like I could have done like so many more festivals in 2016 if I'd have done like the freestyle battles, but I turned them all down. I don't know, man. I just changed my opinion on what I wanted to do, and I felt like towards the end of things, like with the Charron battle and the DNA battle, and it kind of was like a new wave of fans, like a new generation of fans and battlers, and I just kind of, you know, I don't really think they get dots like the old generation got dots, and I was like, I'm just gonna focus on music and getting better and shit like that, like getting better health wise. I mean, sure. No, fair enough, man. And I mean, music wise, now, what projects is it you and Philly and Dots that is the kind of main thing you're pushing at the moment? No, I always push like the main three things I do is obviously Philly and Dots. My solo stuff is Dots, and then Filthy Funk as well is the other group that I'm in, which was who we toured with, or who I toured with when we formed with Copyright. But yeah, right now I've put out so many EPs, and I've put out 2 like collaboration albums and collaboration EP, and I'm focusing on doing my debut solo album, which for me is like the biggest project that I'll probably ever put out is my debut solo. So I want to just spend a lot of time working on that. I've got a new Filthy Funk EP coming out as well. And I've got a bunch of other stuff recorded. I just did a video to a new track the other day, actually. Nice. But yeah, so I've got like a steady stream of stuff coming out. But project-wise, I'm working mainly on my album.
Cool, man. So I guess we'll wrap up with a few quick-fire questions, if that's cool with you. The first one being your favourite. Do you have a favourite Don't Flop battle, Dots?
Favourite Don't Flop battle? Do I have a favourite Don't Flop battle? I do really like quite a few of the old school battles from like the Shorty versus Yunnan era.
Right, yeah.
But I don't think I could specify a specific battle because I haven't followed battling for so long.
Yeah.
And without racking my brains and going through all the old battles, like I wouldn't really be able to put my finger on it. But I'd say that was my favourite era, definitely.
Yeah, no, fair enough. I mean, is it worth me asking your favourite King of the Dot or URL, or is that not something you really follow?
I do watch your King of the Dot battle, like the URL battle and stuff like that, but it's not really something that I follow. I follow a lot of the artists musically, like Big K. I follow his music. DNA, I've followed bits and bobs of his music as well. He works with a lot of the New York rappers and stuff. So I see the names, but in a musical sense rather than a battle sense.
Sure. And what about getting less onto the sort of battling side then? 2 final questions. Your favourite musical artist or band that is in no way hip-hop related?
There's a band called the Cat Empire that I really like from Australia that make like a crazy mix of ska reggae with a DJ and horns, and they're like a 9-piece band. Check out the song. I think it's called The Lost Song.
The Lost Song. I've got my Spotify up now. Yeah, it's here. I'm gonna listen to that as soon as we end the episode, and you all should as well. The Cat Empire, you said.
Yeah, it's a random one, but that's what I'm going to go with. Okay.
And final question, Dots, your favourite film?
Favourite film? Fuck. Oh, man, I've got so many DVDs and films. If I had to... I'd say something like Snatch. I wouldn't want to say an exact film, but that would be one of them, like something of that ilk.
Good choice, man. And finally, how do people get at you Twitter-wise, social media, and how do they find your music as well?
So all my social media stuff is at official dots, or my Facebook. For some reason, my Facebook page is stuck as Dotsy Dots. But yeah, if you just type in Dots, it comes up. It's got like an album cover as the front. I'm obviously on Instagram, Twitter, and stuff like that. And then music-wise, I like literally every digital outlet, like iTunes, Amazon, Spotify, like all the ones that I'm not sure how many there are. I think there's about 142
Right.
altogether. So basically every online outlet, but yeah, YouTube as well, like YouTube for videos. And I'd say Bandcamp if you want physicals. My Bandcamp is .zilla, so DOTZILLA.bandcamp.com, and there's loads of free music on there as well. Like there's the phillyanddots.bandcamp.com and filthyfunkuk.bandcamp.com as well. There's a lot of music.
All right, sweet. I've just searched you on Spotify. I didn't realise you were on Innuendo's Sad Clown. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, shit, I forgot about that. Yeah,
that's awesome, man. But Dots, this has been great, man. Thank you for joining me.
No worries, man. Thanks for having me on.